Hey Gundamaniacs, welcome to another episode of Gundam Explained. In this episode we're going to be looking at episode 4 of Gundam Evolve. And this one is actually specifically called RX-78 GP03 Dendrobium, so I think we know what that's going to be about. So it's cool that we're getting an episode that takes place during Stardust Memory, but what kind of lore will it bring? Hey, before we get started, if you haven't, please subscribe. Also check the links in the description for ways you can support the channel. Check out our Discord, we have a lot of fun there. But let's get started. Well, okay, let's jump right in because I like anything with more UC lore, more information. There's something odd about this one too that I'll get to. But it starts right away. Access complete. Caution. Access permission. Federal classification level. Higher than level C3. Please enter your federal ID and password. All right, so this is starting off just talking about the GP project that we know of that was done, after, I guess, the 1-year war. The idea was to come up with a new project of Gundams to hold back any Zeon remnants that could exist. Have already been sent to Torrington Base for testing. Yeah, there's the GP02. So this is interesting. I hear that Admiral Jamatov finds the GP project rather distasteful. So this is sort of interesting lore building here because of, what comes of, Stardust Memory that leads into Zeta, with the Titans and everything. And the guy's like, you just focus on collecting that Anaheim paycheck. So it's like just spelling out the conspiracy here. That's why you're deliberately leaking this to them, isn't it? All right, Gundam Evolve 4, and as we can see, this came out in 2002. All right, the atmosphere is pretty cool and the music's pretty good, but it looks like it's showing off like this damaged Gelgu just kind of laying out in space. That thing, it's a monster, maybe calling out not just the GP03 stamen, but within that Dendrobium mobile armor. Okay, it looks sick the way the camera is moving away, and we're seeing like this whole squadron of Gelgugs moving in. I guess this is, where the Lavian Rose is. So we hear a female voice, why are there so many? GP03. Launch it, Lucette, we're in trouble. So female pilot Lucette from the anime is being mentioned. So this is pretty cool. What the hell is that? That thing's the suit in our intel. So I guess this is, Zeon forces that knew about this suit that was coming, which is pretty cool. That ties into that lore we were talking about, the conspiracy within the Federation. But also the music that's kicking in. It's music straight up from Stardust Memory, because the soundtrack on that was awesome. I love this shot because it's almost like some sort of, radar camera, drone camera that's like on the battlefield. And like you could see the GP03's like head turn and face the camera. Pretty awesome. Yeah, here's a cool shot seeing the Lavian Rose, seeing the GP03. This actually does look good for being the 2002 CGI, even though some of the animation's a little too quick and goofy. Honestly, this looks awesome. Here we go, Dendrobium moving in. Again, playing that badass battle music, like Assault Waves, I think it's called. Okay, that's pretty cool. I mean, I'm telling you, with the music they've got going on from the show, and just seeing the visuals here, this is probably my favorite of Gundam Evolve so far. Okay, so that's cool. You see it amongst the explosions, and then it's over, or is it? So there's some interesting after credits information. So like it won't be any use, not with the GP02 stolen and the GP01 destroyed. So this probably takes place like right in the middle of Stardust Memory. Oh, we see the Gerbera, and it says like illegal access. What the, that Gerbera Gundam was gonna be a thing, and then Zeon got the plans for it and made their own, the Gerbera Tetra, I believe it's called. Yeah, GP04, right? Okay, so that was interesting to see. I guess the person piloting the GP03 during the end credits was destroyed and killed. That's pretty interesting considering then the GP03 is used further on, but let's take a closer look. So according to the wiki, it is revealed that several people leaked information about the Gundam development project to the Zeon forces because Jamatov Hyman dislikes it. Afterwards, just because he dislikes it. Afterwards, a ruined MS-14F Gelgug Marine is shown floating in space after a group of MS-14F Gelgug Marine and MS-06F Zaku-2 mobile suits attack the Lavian Rose. To counter them, a woman named Defra Carr pilots the RX-78 GP03S Gundam Stamen to destroy them. Or Stamen? To make this easier, she uses the Orcus platform, and thanks to its powerful weapons, is easily able to destroy them, and thanks to her eye field, she's even able to defend herself from the attack of a large battleship. However, after the battle, and while ejecting the Stamen from the Orcus, a severely damaged Gelgoog is able to shoot at the cockpit of the Stamen, killing Defra and incidentally destroying the experimental cockpit. Afterwards, the people who looked on the Gundam data examined the data of the GPO-4, Jabura. This animation may explain the confusion concerning the two types of cockpits for the Stamen unit. So this is the first I've heard about two different cockpits. And on here, if we were to look at the basics of the Stamen, it was a mobile suit component of the GPO-3 Dendrobium designed to dock with the armed base Orcus. Because of the complex fire control systems needed for a single pilot to control the Orcus, the Stamen was equipped with a spherical cockpit equipped with a panoramic monitor and a linear seat, making use of materials for the Physalis. In addition, in order to improve pilot survivability, the adoption of the core block system was considered. However, since it was difficult to create a core fighter with a panoramic cockpit, it was decided to create two separate interchangeable cockpits. The core fighter equipped variant, known as the P-Spec. What P stood for is unclear due to the erasure of the Gundam development project data, with prototype, pistol, and pollen being suggested. So, is that where it comes in to there was this confusion about the cockpit? I didn't know about that until I read this, but apparently the idea was for the GPO-3 to have a core fighter system, or a core block system with a core fighter, but I guess in order to work with the Orcus and become the Dendrobium, it required a different cockpit. So what happened in this little CGI short we saw was the character of Defra Carr piloting. So Defra Carr was the test pilot of the GPO-3, or of the Dendrobium, more specifically. During the test, she intercepts the Zeon remnants that attacked and almost destroys all the enemy machines with the RX-78 GPO-3's overwhelming firepower. But when she loses control of the machine and separates the Stamen from the Orcus and drifts away, the surviving remnant sniped the cockpit of the core block system and Defra is killed. So I wonder if then they're referring to the core block system that was in there initially, that was destroyed, and so they rebuilt it to have, I guess, better interface with the Dendrobium. That's what it sounds like here, and I wasn't really able to find any other additional information, so if anyone has any interesting information about that, let us know, because it's really cool what I guess this then Gundam Evolve short was made for. It was kind of showing sort of almost light development and also conspiratorial lore about what's going on in Universal Century during that time. That Hyman just didn't like the GPO-3, and so or that Gundam development project specifically leaked it to Zeon. There could be a bunch of different reasons for that we've heard. But the idea that also that there was, I guess, multiple development phases when it comes to the core block and the cockpit of the GPO-3. And unfortunately, we had this, the female pilot, Defra Carr, killed. And she was talking to Lucille, I believe that was Lucette. Yeah, I believe that was her name. That was actually in the anime as well. So there's that. So anyway, again, another short from this Gundam Evolve series to cover. Huge fan of Stardust Memory. So it was really cool to see what I saw. In fact, I would say it was probably the most interesting so far of the 4 I've reviewed, because the CGI actually looks great. Even though it's really short of the Dendrobium, fighting the Gelgoogs with some Zakutus, listening to that badass Stardust Memory music. Yeah, it was very cool. So let me know what you're thinking of that core block system thing going on. I wasn't too sure about that until, I started reading about it here, but I thought that was pretty neat. Anyway, thanks for watching. We'll talk later.